You and the man behind you just bought the same groceries, same store, same prices, same total on the screen. He paid with his Platinum Amex. You paid cash. He just got $1.75 back. You got nothing. That $1.75 didn't come from the bank. Banks don't give away money. It came from your transaction. That money didn't appear on your receipt. It never does. It moved between banks, beneath the transaction, before the store even closed its register. Invisible, adjustable, and it moves over $90 billion a year, always in the same direction. The only question is, who designed it this way and why it's still running?
Visa and MasterCard appears to be a double-edged sword.
Could change what fees you pay and whether you can even use.
Who accused the card networks of charging too much to accept their credit cards.
In 1966, a mid-level bank manager in Seattle was handed a catastrophe and told to fix it. His name was D. Hock. And the problem wasn't complicated, it was embarrassing. Bank of America had launched a credit card, the Bank AmeriCard, and the system was collapsing. Fraud everywhere. When a card from one bank was used at a merchant banking with another, nobody agreed on who owed what. The processing chain had no logic, no arbiter, no rules. Hock's solution was a single fee, small, clean. Every time a card was swiped, the merchant's bank would pay a fraction of a percent to the customer's bank. Compensation for the risk, the float, the overhead. It worked. The chaos stopped. Bank AmeriCard became Visa. But the fee had one property nobody designed and nobody thought to restrict. It was invisible. It didn't appear on receipts. It wasn't disclosed to consumers. It moved between institutions after the transaction beneath the number on the price tag. And because it was invisible, it was adjustable. Banks could raise it quietly at any time, as long as the shelf price stayed the same. For 15 years, nobody touched it. The fee stayed modest, a processing cost, nothing more. Then banks figured out what invisible and adjustable actually meant. And once they did, there was no ceiling. For the first decade, interchange fees were a fraction of a percent. A processing cost, nothing more. Then banks started competing for cardholders, and that changed the logic entirely. If your bank offers 1% cashback and mine offers 2%, you switch to mine. But the only way my bank can fund that 2% is by charging higher interchange on every transaction you make. So it does. Merchants have no real choice. Refuse Visa, lose customers. So they accept the higher rate, and they do the only thing available to them. They build it into the price. That $5 coffee isn't $5 because the beans and labor came to $5. It's $5 because the owner calculated rent, wages, breakage, and the 1.8% to 3% he loses on every card transaction and priced it in, which means everyone who buys that coffee pays the full amount. Cash customer, debit card holder, basic Visa user, Platinum Amex holder. But only one of them gets money back. The fee became a competitive weapon. The rewards became advertising, and the cost, invisible, distributed, untraceable on any receipt, landed on everyone equally. But that's not the whole story, because not everyone carries a platinum card. In 2010, economists at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston measured exactly what was happening. Low-income households transfer at least $149 a year into the reward system. High-income households collect at least $1,133 a year out of it. Not because anyone charged them differently, because premium rewards cards, the ones with the highest cashback rates, the lounge access, the miles, are disproportionately held by people with higher incomes. Lower-income consumers are more likely to pay cash, use basic debit, or carry an entry-level card that generates almost no interchange. But they shop at the same stores. They pay the same prices. Prices that already have the fee baked in. Think about what that means in one image. A woman buying groceries with cash at a Walmart in suburban Ohio is, through the pricing structure of that store, subsidizing the Amex Platinum points of the attorney who shops in the same aisle. Neither of them knows this. The receipt doesn't show it, the price tag doesn't show it, The bank statement doesn't show it. The transfer is real. The mechanism is documented. It runs every day in every store across the entire country. So the question isn't whether anyone noticed. They did. The Federal Reserve noticed in 2010. Congress has known for longer. The question is why it's still running. Because 180 million Americans have credit cards and roughly 60 million of them have rewards cards. That's the complete answer. Any politician who proposes capping interchange fees is proposing to eliminate cashback, airline miles, and hotel points for 60 million constituents. Those constituents vote at higher rates, donate at higher rates, call their congressman. The merchants, the ones actually paying the fee, have lobbied against this for decades. They've lost. Not because the economics are disputed, because the political math doesn't work. The industry understood this from the beginning. When the Durbin Amendment passed in 2010 and capped interchange on debit cards, the response was immediate. Rewards programs migrated entirely to credit. The fee moved, the transfer continued, and beneath all of it, there's the infrastructure. Visa and MasterCard don't lend money. They don't issue cards. They operate the network, and they set the fee schedule. They decide which card tier pays which rate. They decide which banks collect the most. The Credit Card Competition Act, legislation designed to introduce routing competition and break this duopoly, has been reintroduced in Congress 3 times. Most recently in January 2026, with bipartisan support and a public endorsement from President Trump. It hasn't passed. This system isn't running on inertia. It's running on design. 60 years of compounding design, and the people inside it have no incentive to stop. Here's the full mechanism assembled once. Visa and MasterCard set the tiers. Banks compete by raising rewards. Higher rewards require higher interchange. Merchants pay it. Merchants price it in. Everyone pays the same. Only premium cardholders get money back. The cash customer isn't charged extra. They just never receive back the fraction they contributed to a pool they were never allowed to access. That's cleaner than a fee. Fees are visible. This isn't. Remember that woman in the grocery store? The one who paid cash while the attorney next to her tapped his Amex. She didn't pay more. The receipt said the same number. But her $87 built his points, and his points will pay for a flight she'll never take. D. Hock built a system to solve a coordination problem between banks. What the market turned it into was a redistribution engine, one where the entry price is identical for everyone, and the exit is reserved for the people who already have the right card. The same architecture is everywhere now. The $9 flight that costs $55 before you board. The free tier that exists to convert you to premium. The price that looks neutral, while the structure underneath it isn't. You've been inside this system your entire adult life. The only thing that changed today is that you can see it. If that's the kind of mechanism you want to understand before everyone else, the subscribe button is one tap away. And if you think the Credit Card Competition Act actually has a chance this time, the answer is more complicated than the headlines suggest.